Hello everybody, Patrick Glenn Nichols, Muscle Car Barn Finds, and today I'm out here in Oklahoma where I was hired to inspect this 1970 Chevelle, which turned out to be an authentic SS454 car, LS5. I'll go around the car pretty quick. The engine is not in the car. The original engine is not present, but the original transmission is here, along with the original CRU 331 open. Rear axle is here. This is an excellent southwestern car. It spent a lot of time in Arizona in the Tucson area. It's now in Oklahoma. The floors and the body on this car has never been cut up. It's just a fabulous car to restore. The car does not have a build sheet with it. And again, the original engine is no longer with the car. But as far as the metal and a car to restore, which is going to happen to this car, you just couldn't come up with one better to restore. And the paint and body on the car that is on there now is really nice. Of course, it was, as you see, it was born 50/50 Gobi beige upper and lower. So we'll do a quick walk around and give you an idea of what is actually here before this restoration, full-on restoration, takes place from here forward. So I think the car has been off the body. The body has been off the frame and been put back on, but I think it's going to be coming back off to complete the restoration, a frame off restoration. This car was built the first week of March, right about the time when the Arlington assembly plant switched over from the single fuel line on an LS6 to the dual fuel line. So there's really not a lot here that will tell you which way this car was, an LS5 or an LS6, other than the presence of a 5,500 RPM tachometer, which was born in the car. But I can tell you that is not 100% because I personally own an 18,000 mile original paint LS6 from Arlington that is coded correct on the build sheet with the 983 tachometer that was born with the 985 5500. So this car being from Arlington, also having that 5500 RPM tachometer, that technically is not 100%, but I think the likelihood of it having a CRU open rear end along with an M22 and the 5500 RPM tachometer leads me to believe that there's a lot higher probability this car was an LS5 rather than an LS6. So I'll show you the rest of the car. We got the early style hood on like I said, the first week of March 1970. There has been some work. As you can see, this car was drag raced, so there had been some drilling and so forth and so on the firewall. But you can see the provision for the Cowl Induction relay is in the firewall, along with the tack wire is still present. The windshield washer motor is still there, dated the 14th day of 70, which is really nice. The frame looks to be in really cool shape, a little too shiny, of course, but again, this car is going to be totally restored from here, and a lot of the changes will be made. Of course, the bumper's been off the car, of course. None of the headlights are original, but the main thing is the foundation of what is here as far as this car. As far as the rust quality, there's just none. I don't think this car had any in it, being in Tucson, Arizona area, and then inside most of his life as well. And here in just a little bit, I will show you the floors on the car with some of the red oxide primer from the Arlington, Texas plant, which is just unreal how nice it is. This tag is a little too shiny. It's hard to read some of what you see here because there's a lot of paint on it, but you can see the BT, I believe 11607 for the body number, and then the 756, the 03A for the first week of March, and the 50/50 for Gobi beige. I think you can see the 756 trim for the black bucket seat interior, and it does have D55 console as well. We'll go down this side. All four of the wheels are incorrect, not original to the car. Two of them are Oldsmobile and 2 of them are early 69 YA code. But check out the floors on this car, how nice this car is. You just won't come across one any better to restore. And seat belts are dated, I think, about the 5th week of 1970, which is definitely correct. But there's a really good shot of some Arlington, Texas red oxide. And the build sheet was not here. You can see the 5,500 RPM tachometer in place, which would definitely lead one to believe that this car was an LS5. But again, that's just not foolproof, especially because I own a car that has the 5,500 RPM, and it's one of the nicest LS6s you'll ever see. So this is a nice rear bumper. I think it's original to the car. I think that's ever been off. That bumper pad is nice. I think there's a few imperfections in the chrome, but all in all, a pretty nice car. Also spent some time in Colorado, I do believe, as you can see from the license plate there. But some of the paperwork that was in the glove box shows that the majority of its life, up until the mid-90s or later, it was in the Tucson, Arizona area. And the original quarter panels are still here, trunk pan, all of this. You just won't find a car as solid and is, you know, never been cut up like this one. They're just not out there. Very tough to find. A lot of paint on those stamps on the quarter panels, but they are original. Go down the passenger side. A lot of the glass is all original, other than the windshield on the car, which is really neat. And you can see the passenger side. And we've got an aftermarket tape player and the D55 console is right here, really nice. I think somebody broke the front bracket off, which is normally what happens. You can see it right there. That's super common when taking these apart. They always get busted. You have to take care, because these parts are super hard to find, and once you tear them up, you start paying for trying to find another mint console. You know, they just hardly don't exist because of that very reason. People take them, when they remove them, they always tend to want to, or the mistakes happen. Really nice body. Gobi beige, 50 lower, 50 upper. Cowl induction, the provision was there like I showed you. So it definitely was, unless it was a striped elite car, which this is very unlikely as well. This car was a D88 black striped car as well. The rear axle in the car is dated 01/19, which would be January 19th of 70, which coincides with this car as far as being a March 1st week. Now I'll walk up in this race car trailer and show you what really solidified this car being a SS454 car, is this authentic stamp that was on this original born with M22 transmission. So P070, B for February the 20th, and then C for M22. And we got the 661 case. And if you turn it over slightly right here, and you can see the authentic 10R214669, which definitely matches the VIN on this car. So this is an authentic M22 transmission, born in this particular car with the, of course, the 766 WO tag. So that is the home run piece to proving this car to be a Z15 optioned SS454 1970 Chevelle. So the rest of the characteristics of the car point more toward the LS5, and that's what I'm going to endorse the car as, a LS5 optioned 1970 Chevelle. Bear with me, it is windy out here in Oklahoma as I walk from the race car trailer back into the garage. It's a really nice car. So this one is going to be another one inspected and endorsed by me before the restoration takes place, which I was hired to do so to add the value and the provenance to this car before the restoration takes place. And I will be able to endorse this car as a 1970 Chevelle Z15 optioned SS454. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you are interested in having me inspect and possibly endorse your 1970 Chevelle, do not hesitate to reach out at pnichols26 at Yahoo, or you can private message me at Patrick Glenn Nichols Muscle Car Barn Finds on Facebook. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment. I really like all the participation. I really appreciate all that. Thanks for watching. More videos on the way.